third property in the UK. The 212 cabin hotel will open in Clerkenwell, regarded as London's creative quarter in 2018. And it's also, as well as being the first in central London, it's the first city centre property in Europe. The hotel currently has hotels at Heathrow, Gatwick, Schiphol, which is Amsterdam's airport, Paris Charles de Gaulle, and one city centre hotel, Manhattan. Others in the pipeline include Shanghai, Singapore Changi Airport, as well as Boston, San Francisco, Miami, Brooklyn and Dubai. The hotel in London will include a gym, a bar, a dining outlet, it says independently, so maybe it'd be McDonald's, and the club lounge concept, which offers flexible meeting and co-working spaces that is designed to keep designed in keeping with the surrounding area. As well as the bar, which is important, there'll also be superfast and free Wi-Fi. The site is a 6-minute walk from Farringdon Station and 7 minutes to Sparfields Park, 8 minutes to City University London, and a 15-minute walk to the Barbican Centre for the Performing Arts. Actually, I'm quite keen about that. I want to go to the Barbican and I'm wondering where I can stay. This looks like it's going to be the ideal place. And the hotel chose the spot possibly because of the Crossrail to Farringdon Station, which is set to be complete in 2018. Moving back to airports for the minute, apparently, according to a report, delays at UK airports will be 44 times worse by 2030. And this is without a radical shake-up of the country's airspace. And this is a warning from the Transport Secretary. He said that Britain's outdated airspace is an urgent need of reform if it is to cope with the expected twofold increase in air traffic by 2030. He said, while modern aircraft are fitted with the latest satellite navigation technology, most of our airspace arrangements are half a century old. Without action, flight delays will increase enormously over the next few years. This wouldn't just be damaging for passengers, but also for the economy and the environment. According to a report by the National Air Traffic Services, or NATS, passengers in the UK are currently delayed by 90,000 minutes annually. However, NATS claims that this figure will rise 44-fold to 4 million minutes, or 2,778 days, by the end of the next decade unless action is taken. A spokesperson for NATS said, modernising our airspace will enable us to deliver many of the benefits we know our airline customers and local communities want to see. It's a very tough balancing act to provide an infrastructure that enables airlines to reduce their fuel burn, CO2 emissions, maximises our finite airspace capacity and keeps the UK connected to the rest of the world and reduces noise impact to the people on the ground. The Transport Secretary said he'd be launching a consultation on measures to support airspace modernisation, but campaigners say increasing capacity is not the answer. A Friends of the Earth spokesperson said, with catastrophic climate change one of the biggest threats looming over us today, a minister joyously heralding a doubling of the world's aircraft is deeply misguided. They went on to say, airport expansion will be likely given more noise, pollution and misery for local communities and make a complete mockery of government commitments to tackle climate change. What are your thoughts on flight delays and airspace? Do you feel that we need to expand? Do you think travelling is too easy, and because it's so easy, flying is too easy, because it's too easy to fly, too many people are doing it, which is causing problems for the environment and the people who live near the airports? Do you live near an airport? Are you fed up with the noise and spells? Or I said earlier that I'm looking into investigating the fumes at airports. But if you live near an airport, you have any concerns about noise, or if you're concerned about the environment and you don't want to see an increase in the number of flights around the UK, please share your views. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. A few weeks ago, I mentioned Ryanair's new initiative. An initiative, I should be careful about the words I use on this show, I believe was down to the package travel regulations that are coming out, package travel directive that's coming out, which meant there's going to be so much paperwork involved for companies that sell flights and then have links to other companies that sell accommodation. It's just a lot easier to become the whole tour operator yourself. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. Whether Ryanair did it for that or not, I don't know. But anyway, it has suspended its package holiday programme just under 2 months after launching. And the reason for the suspension is screen scraping. Screen scraping is the practice of lifting data from one website to produce a mirror of the original, allowing bookings to be made on a different website. Lots of price comparison websites do that sort of thing. They're in the background of their website, they're forever searching for information or sending information to other websites and then producing it to you. They don't get paid for it, they get paid from their marketing all over the website. But anyway, the Irish airline said in a statement, it will not allow any third-party software provider to screen scrape and unlawfully resell Ryanair's low fares. It added that it had terminated its agreement with its software provider. When this was launched, Ryanair had hoped to disrupt the traditional package holiday market by having its own extensive network of low-cost flight routes across Europe with cheap accommodation. At the unveiling, the spokesperson said, consumers have been paying too much for package holidays for years and more want to put their own packages together themselves. Spanish operator Logitravel, which was working with Ryanair on its holidays, confirmed the agreement had ended, but emphasised that it had not been using screen scraping. A spokesperson said, we are connected to a global distribution system like Amadeus, as well as other air travel consolidators, which provide us with a product. A global distribution system, or GDS, is what companies use to book flights. You might not know it, but when you book online, the chances are you're automatically using a GDS to do the booking. Anyway, the spokesperson said, Logitravel cannot operate without air products. Ryanair is the low-cost leader, but of course, there are many other airlines and we must show all available flights to our clients so they can make an informed decision when booking a holiday. The spokesperson continued, Logitravel does not make any revenue from air travel. We consider it a commodity and our only intention is to give our clients access to the best travel options available. Ryanair has long complained about screen scraping. In 2008, the airline had a number of legal battles with several companies which it claims was infringing copyright law and the terms and conditions of its website. And because of this, the airline cancelled the bookings of a number of holiday makers made through the alternative sites. And in 2015, the airline won the right to sue travel agencies that used the software. When I was a travel agent, I used to package holidays with Ryanair flights. And yes, I added extra to pay for the time it took to book the ticket with Ryanair. But what I was providing was a fully bonded, fully protected holiday. Whereas Ryanair at the time would feel it's better if a travel person travelled without any protection because it's cheaper. But once Ryanair started to complain about this and said they were going to cancel people flying, I couldn't get insurance to book Ryanair flights, so I stopped. And what was happening was the airline threatened to find out if somebody booked for a third party, and then they weren't going to let them board the aircraft, and they weren't going to get the money back because of the terms and conditions of the website, which says that you had to book your ticket on the website. Somebody couldn't do it for you. But I think they'd make more money if they just let other companies use their product, but there we go. But sticking with Ryanair, it has also threatened to scrap its second free bag policy because, believe it or not, people who are travelling for next to nothing are attempting to pack, according to the airline, half the contents of their home into the second bag. Ryanair began to allow customers to bring on an additional smaller cabin bag free of charge back in October 2013 as part of an overhaul of fees and charges which was aimed at improving its image. But the policy appears to have backfired, with flyers regularly breaching the permitted limits and causing delays. Michael O'Leary, the airline's chief executive, told the Irish Independent, "We're struggling at the boarding gate because far too many passengers are turning up with half the contents of their homes now instead of one normal-sized bag and one small bag." And also, sometimes people turned up with 3 bags. And he went on to say, if it doesn't stop, we're going to have to change that policy. A spokesperson for the airline did confirm the rethink and said, "We've noticed some customers are bringing larger than permitted bags, which cause delays, and the policy may be reviewed should this practice continue." Ryanair rules at the minute mean that you can bring one cabin bag weighing up to 10 kilograms with dimensions of 55 centimetres by 40 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and a second bag of 35 by 20 by 20. And this is meant to be a handbag, laptop or duty-free shopping bag. Oversized cabin baggage may be refused at the boarding gate or placed in the hold with a fee of £50 or €50. Should Ryanair return to the stricter policy, it will help solve the problem many passengers face when trying to store their luggage in overhead lockers. I'm sure you've had it, too many people flying with too many bags, and when the time you get on there's nowhere to stick your stuff. And space is becoming a premium. With Ryanair, only the first 90 passengers are guaranteed to have their luggage placed in the cabin, but the airline's 737s carry up to 189 people, meaning fewer than half are certain to travel with their bags. The policy usually results in a scrum at the gate with passengers determined to be one of the first 90 on board. Have you had problems with Ryanair's bag policy? Have you had to put stuff in the hold because there isn't enough space? Have you had your bag refused boarding and refused to be put on the hold? Let me know. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
Hello, it's Roy. Yeah, we're on the ferry. We should be in Spain tomorrow afternoon.
Well, be careful. Lots of crooks on the roads out here.
Crooks? You know where I grew up.
This is different. They target British registered vehicles.
Yeah, they used to do that round my way.
I'm serious. They'll tell you there's something wrong with your car, so you pull over, then they rob you. Or they distract you at a motorway stop. They target hire cars, too.
Hire cars?
Yeah, well, they're driven by tourists.
Oh, OK, I'll watch out.
Good. So, looking forward to the drive down?
Yeah, well, I was.
Thieves in Spain have been targeting hire cars and UK-registered vehicles, so be extra careful on the roads. For details, visit gov.uk and search for Living in Spain.
Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Sicily has been named one of the 10 best wine destinations for 2017, according to the US magazine Wine Enthusiast. While more traditional wine regions such as Tuscany and Provençal, I have no idea, continue to pop up on itineraries, more and more travellers apparently are looking for the truly unique and equally picturesque experience of choosing Sicily. It's the largest island in the Med, and it offers something for everyone, from pristine beaches that make up its 600-mile coastline to the interior of the island, which is made up of mountainous peaks, including the largest active volcano in Europe, Mount Etna. It's situated in the centre of the Med and is a cultural melting pot with historic influences from Europe, Africa and the Middle East. Wine travellers can seek new regional flavours and experience with a deep cultural backstory. And the island fits the bill with winemaking traditions that date back more than 3,000 years. The island's wine tourism is largely influenced by Sicilia DOC, a consortium of 130 Sicilian wine producers committed to preserving and promoting Sicily's winemaking industry. A spokesperson for Sicilia DOC said, "Thanks to meticulous vineyard tending and gentle grape handling in Sicily's wineries, Sicilia DOC wines feature the melody of flavours that Sicily has been known for since ancient times, and which represents some of the best wines in Italy." Are you thinking of popping over to Sicily for a wine tour? You might not have thought about it before. If you're really into wine, think of the bragging rights you'll have when you get to the next wine meeting and say you've been to the wineries around Sicily and done wine tasting. If you're into wines, please do let me know at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Let me know what you look for when you're travelling on a wine holiday, which countries you've been visiting. I mean, New Zealand's got a good wine tour. Would you consider going that far? So facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Sojourn has released its Q1 Global Travel Insights Report, which uncovers emerging travel patterns and destinations for spring travel around the world, and it hopes will arm travel marketers with insights on how to tailor-make more efficient consumer messages to you, the traveller, to drive bookings to their particular location. This report is based on the travel data from 350 million traveller